response?
It was very moving to me. I've had a wonderful association with the Caribbean community here in the city. One of my best friends is, I call him Ambassador Simon, Elaine Simon. And I knew when the problem hit there, it was time for us as a community to look at these wonderful folks as our brothers and our sisters. And so Ms. Hughes, the owner of Radio 1, the Urban One, has told us, serve your family. As far as I'm concerned, the folks there are part of the extended family. And I want to make sure we do everything we can to make their lives as comfortable again as possible.
Okay. So as a representative of Baltimore for all these years, what do you want to say to the Baltimore community, the Caribbean community in Baltimore?
We will be scheduling an event, 3 or 4 events, but the major one will be an Arena Players, the latter part of the month of September. And once we announce it, Baltimore, come out with your money, come out with the support that we're going to ask you for, and please don't be stingy.
Now here we have one of our pillars in the Caribbean community. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Reynolds Small. Everyone knows me as DJ Smalley, Golden Touch. And just a pleasure to be here to talk to everyone about, something that's currently happening with us. And I have to say us, not only as people originally from the Caribbean, but offspring of people from the Caribbean. And that's what's happening in the Bahamas in terms of the hurricane. And not only on behalf of the Carnival Committee, which I actually work in the capacity of marketing and media, but just as a person who has benefited from the influence of the Caribbean here in the U.S., I think it's important to be able to help focus on this drive to help some of us that are in need right now, namely the Bahamas. In the past we've done so much for the other Caribbean islands, and again, like we reiterated in the event we just had, the meeting we just had, it's not about just giving clothing, it's not about just giving essentials. Money would be very important. There are people who already have some of those things but need the infrastructure, which would require money. So I'm going to make sure that I do my best, and I'm going to speak on behalf of people from Trinidad and Tobago, that we will be instrumental. Just put yourself in the position that you are in the Bahamas right now. You don't have a home. You don't know where all of your siblings are. You don't have the essential things that you need. We get together for other things. We get together to come and have fun at the carnival. We get together to come to parties and stuff like that. This is the time for us to really come together and support where it is more important in terms of basic needs for others in the community. So I would really encourage people to put themselves in that position, because I think looking from that aspect of it, you wouldn't want to be in a position where you can't reach out and get help from fellow Caribbeans.
We do have an ongoing organization that supports disaster relief throughout the Caribbean. The organization is the CDRRA, Caribbean Disaster Relief and Recovery Alliance. And we are up and running, so anyone who would like to donate to the catastrophe in the Bahamas can go to the website, and right on the front page there's a donate button, and all of the proceeds will go towards the Bahamian disaster relief.
So how do you feel about what your response you've been getting so far from other people in reference to this?
Well, we are always on standby to assist, and this is no difference. It's just that the magnitude of this disaster is overwhelming, breathtaking. So we have been getting a lot of calls, texts, emails from the community, not just within the DMV, but throughout the country of the U.S. People are willing and ready to assist. So it's good that we're here mobilizing, and we're ready to get on board. We will be setting up drop-off points for those who are donating goods. We're going to also have shipping companies in place, so we can get these supplies to the Bahamians as soon as possible.
Okay, I would say at least for the last 7 days, I have reached out to, Senator Young had reached out to me in terms of coordinating and mobilizing some of our Caribbean people who in the past have always stepped up to help with relief, hurricane relief. And we've been together, those of us that were here today have been together since 1997. Back in Antigua was really devastated, and we helped Grenada with flooding, and then 2017 we worked with the Virgin Island, Dominica, and Barbuda. That was Antigua and Barbuda. That 98% of Barbuda was totally devastated. So coming from that background in terms of the needs and helping, I was really ready when Senator Young asked me to mobilize, and he would like to host a meeting here on behalf of Kathy Hughes, radio station, Radio 1, and all of the adjoining station will be promoting the effort. So presently we met today, and each one of us have an assignment, and we will be reaching out to the community in about a week's time with specific locations, some firehouses that they can drop off items, the Arena Players, the Langston Hughes Resource Center in the Park Heights area. So one of the things we're also trying to do is to identify various venues. So if you live on the east side, you don't have to come all the way to Park Heights. You can stop. Presently, we will get a fire station that's over in that area. So that's part of what we're doing right now. And another thing, we're reaching out for monetary contribution, because a lot of people have certain ideas how these drives operate, how they start, how they get started, and what has to be done. One of the most important things with these drives, we have to have funding. Those large containers that goes to the islands, they're very, very costly. The shipping agents usually give us a break, but when I say a break, just a break. And then we have one in Silver Spring and one in Baltimore. And we have to buy those barrels. Those barrels are $40 each. And we cannot afford to host this drive and still fund it with our personal monies. So yes, we will be appealing for some contribution to help us. We have to get a storage bin for 3 months. We have to have some place to store the items. None of us want those items in our house. I personally had an experience with Antigua. My living room was a warehouse for a month. However, I was glad to do it, but I don't want to do it again.
How y'all doing?
You are associated with the Caribbean community and in their efforts. What would you like to say about helping the people in the Bahamas?
Well, it was just, it's really sad. You know, we know there's hurricanes, those things will come along. What happened to the Bahamas is just unreal. And we as a people, we have just